Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? Talk about that Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury press conference I seen yesterday, and also want to talk about Andy Ruiz. He put up a post on his Instagram yesterday, and Dominic Breazeale has some stuff to say on social media as well that I want to touch on. Jay West, what's up, man? Touch on a few topics here, man. Ruiz, Brazil. Oh, also seen Usyk. There's some Parker and Usyk news, but it was more from Team Parker, man, that I want to speak on as well, man. Right now, I'm actually waiting for y'all to get in the building, man. I'm actually going back watching a lot of Tyson Fury, man. I'm watching the fight with who is this, the Nikolai Further fight? Hold on, which fight is this? Yeah, I'm watching the Nikolai Further fight. I believe it was Fury's 16th fight. Going back watching a lot of Fury right now, man. But let me see who all up in here. Aladdin Saddam was good, family. Brandon White was good. The J Roos Theory, what's up, man? Dominic Hardy up in here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just start, man. Look, now first thing with the presser, right? Pretty laid back, mellow. It was pretty just laid back presser. Being, that I've seen Tyson Fury flip over tables and dress up like Batman, and you know what I mean, seen him do some outlandish things at his pressers, man. It's pretty laid back for him. It pretty much went. I thought he'll probably have a little more antics, but seems pretty serious for the most part. Tyson Fury, in my opinion, man, based on how I've seen him behave in other press conferences. David Watson was good, man. So Wilder was his usual self, very confident. Speak it, believe it, receive it. Type of mindset. King of kings. You know how Wilder talks. You know what I mean? Just seems ready to go in there and get the job done. Um, I mean, a lot of Wilder said. I've heard him say these things in an interview he just did with 78 Sports TV the other day here, and then the interview he did with Fred from Barbershop Conversations. Pretty much saying the same thing he said in those interviews, man. Talking about Fury's, how everybody and along with Fury, oh, you wasn't in shape, you wasn't in shape, but at the same time, this is what you're now Sugar Hill, who was really laid back and conservative at the press yesterday. But now you're with Sugar Hill, then you was at Ben Davison, then you was with Team Fury. I mean, I know Freddie Roach was helping out. So Wilder makes a point when he say, dude, how can you not be in shape when you had three training camps going into our first fight, three training camps, and I was your third fight with the third camp, and you had all these damn trainers. You spent all this money and you still ain't in shape, so I never bought the in shape thing. Some people think, no, but Mr. Boxing, he's still getting his reflexes back and all that. It's like, but bro, I mean, how many damn training camps and fights do you need for that to come back? Elite level guys. This isn't Joe Blow off the couch, man, going to your local Y trying to hit the bag or trying to go in there and spar. All right. So he knows what it takes to get where he needs to be. He knows when his body's right. Fury went on to say things like you didn't want to press toward because you knew I'll get in your head and shit. I don't think he was lying about that because going into that the first fight, the way Wilder fought it, he did fight that fight like somebody was in his head because he was going looking for knockouts, and that's what Wilder doesn't do is going hunting for knockouts. Let me see who's in that super chat. Oh, my man, say less. Jeff was good, bro. He says I saw two men with the utmost respect for each other up there. Yeah, that's what I saw too, basically, man. And stuff they've said, it was pretty light compared to um, what I believe was going to take place. Where I thought Fury was doing a bunch of antics. Now, like I said, there was just some interesting stuff said, man. Fury wants everybody to doubt him. Although last I checked, he was a slight betting favorite in this fight. I think he was like a minus 125, and I think Wilder's like a plus 110 or something. Maybe the lines have changed, but he wants everybody to doubt him, and you know, um, wants everybody to believe that Wilder's the hardest puncher in the world and the best fighter in the world, and so on and so forth. So when he beats Wilder in his mind, he said when he beats him, his victory be that much sweeter. So I understand that. Now we know that Tyson Fury can put on an Oscar award performance, man. When he'll go up there and say kind of some anything. I know some of you will say, Mr. Boxing, you said you never know when to believe him. I don't. I do believe in his head he wants to fight more aggressive. Now, will he do it? Now, I think he meant it at the presser. I didn't see somebody that was lying when he was saying it. But hey, man, you could say anything and fit, and you could really feel in your heart right then in that second that that's what you want to do until it's time to do it. So, looking at his demeanor, based on previous interviews I've seen of him where I thought he was lying and going over the top and just being outlandish and boisterous, I do think he really in his heart wants to go to war with Wilder. Now, will he do it when fight night come and one of the right hands go whistling by his motherfucking ear? I don't know about that. You know what I mean? Brooklyn Child Boxing was good, bro. Leon Robinson was good. Mr. James, salute. David Watson was good. Um, I'm not sure he's gonna want to do that on fight night. You know what I mean? So um, yeah, man, him going up there trying to be this aggressive guy. Now, but hey, y'all, this one going. Some of you, I advise you guys, if you haven't, man, go back and watch some of his older fights, though, bro. He when I call it the Fury with hair. When he had hair, he was way more aggressive. The Cunningham fight, even his Further fight, he's coming forward trying to slug and bang it out. Like the dude was way more aggressive. And he talked about some of the reporters were asking some good questions. Some of the reporters, bro, I don't know where they even got these dudes from. One dude that asked the question, and nothing against this fella, I don't even know who the dude is, but the dude was asking Wilder about, Wilder, in your rematches, you usually come back sharp or so on and so forth. Then the dude went on to say, the reporter was like, yeah, and Fury has no rematches. And I'm sitting there like, what? Like, who they got covering these fights? Like, who do they have covering these fights, man? Like, you didn't know that Tyson Fury had rematches? You didn't know about the McDermott and the Chisora fights? I was like, wow. Even Fury's like, hey, I've had two rematches. I'm sitting there like, that dude need to get kicked out the presser, man. Seriously. Uh, wow. But anyways, what was I saying, man? That shit just threw. I couldn't believe that dude said that. But yeah, him fighting aggressive. So he has fought aggressive before, and he said, and to me, he's making a switch for a reason, y'all. And we know how the crunk trainers train you to fight, especially they're big guys, right? Whether you're a big heavyweight or a big tall guy in that division, use that jab, try to land a right hand, depending on if you're orthodox or southpaw. But use your stick and come behind it with your power hand. You know what I mean? Fight tall and look for knockouts, hold grab on the inside, maul a little bit. We know how those Emmanuel guys that came under Emmanuel like to train. Um, so I just don't think that's the proper game plan, man. So now what you're telling me is you're going to walk down a puncher. Now he didn't necessarily say I'm gonna walk him down, but he said toe to toe. So I mean that's like bringing I don't know, a bomb to a gunfight. I mean, yeah, you can bring the gun, but I think Wilder's going to bring the atomic bomb to the gunfight. So he's getting knocked, but Fury says he's going to knock Wilder out in two. In two, you know what I mean? So we'll see, man. That's not going to happen, though. If he goes in there and tries to be aggressive with Deontay Wilder, he's going to open up himself. Now he's throwing the things that he's gifted with, his slipping shots and bending at the waist. Now you can still stand in front of somebody and bend at the waist. I've seen James Toney do it his whole damn career. You know what I mean? Archie Moore used to do it. I mean, there's a plethora of fighters. Floyd Mayweather. There's a plethora of fighters that can stand in front of you and make you miss. But the thing with Fury, see, when we get to talk about his defense and things like that, his legs is also a big part of it. Him just standing there going side to side, that's when he get caught the most, in my opinion. Especially when he leaning out the way of Wilder. Yeah, in his mind, I'm leaning out the way. But his eyes is not even on the target. And that's when he was getting clipped with some of them right hands. Leaning out the way, thinking he's out the way, when really he's not. He's just right in line to get hit with a right hand. Just because you're bending over, it doesn't mean you're out the way. It just means you're bending over. You know what I mean? So him giving up his mobility is just, I'm outside looking in, and it don't look like that's a smart idea. It doesn't look like it. Now, he went on to say that he got rid of Ben Davis, and he likes to keep things fresh sometimes. And look, man, wherever you think you need your chemistry and ministry from a trainer, then you go there. If you're the Oscar De La Hoya, Evander Holyfield type that likes to switch trainers and you know what I mean, damn near from fight to fight, it almost seems like. If that gets you where you need to be, fine. If you're the type, so I never really get on that. You know what I mean? If you're the guy to stick it out your whole career with one trainer, fine. Whatever works for you, man. I'm not big on you need to. No, just you need to find the proper fit. And if proper fit is from fight to fight with you, and you can excel doing that, then continue to do that. Because everybody operates different. Wilder just comes from that mode of, hey, I started with you, I'm gonna finish with you mode, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Joe Calzaghe did it with his father, so I totally understand that part. Um, but he's saying he got with Sugar Hill so he can sit down on these punches and look for a knockout. And he said that he wasn't feeling the whole irky jerky movement that Ben Davison was implementing in a lot of their training camps and a lot of their workout sessions. So we will see, because a lot of that irky jerky, people are, in my opinion, some fans are taking the word irky jerky and kind of mixing it up with fainting. I always thought that was now I get what you're saying with the irky like movements, but I'm talking about feigning can come across as irky jerky too. And to me, that's what that was just a lot of feigning. You know what I mean? So um, I think a feint is a good strategy to use against any fighter, especially to set up your jabs and double jabs, regardless of who you're facing, tall guys, short guys. So I don't know, man. So what he's telling us is he's not now he didn't say I'm not gonna do no feinting, but the irky jerky to me is feigning sometimes. It's when you feint punches, okay? So you're gonna is he saying he's gonna take some of that out? Am I reading too much into it? And then go toe to toe, that means you're gonna give up your mobility? I just nah, man. Even though I think at the pressure, like I said, in his heart, the man in him wants to go toe to toe. You know what I mean? I got balls. I got balls, y'all. Like, don't get it twisted. Y'all seen me fight when I had hair going toe to toe with guys. But it wasn't Deontay Wilder you're going toe to toe with. Big difference. Big difference, right? Big difference, man. You know what I mean? For all my ball players out there, that's like saying, hey, man, I'm going to get the ball in the post, and I ain't letting nobody stop me. I don't give a damn who guard me. And you got a Will Perdue guard you in the post. There's a big difference between Will Perdue and Akeem Olajuwon in that post, though. You know what I mean? So I understand what Fury's saying. I have seen him go to war, man, but I'm not sure Wilder's the guy you want to go to war with. You know what I mean? So, um, see what y'all talking about right now. Dominic Hardy says fighting more aggressively is a bad idea for Fury. He will get KO'd like that. I was just talking about that. Brooklyn Child says Fury getting flatlined. Dominic Hardy says my favorite Fury fight is when he uppercut himself. Matthew, I remember that. Matthew Valentine says salute with salute, bro. The J. Roos Theory says, Mr. Boxing, are you going to the fight? Man, I'm not sure, man. If I do, it's gonna be like a 1 day thing, bro. It's gonna be like get out there Saturday morning type of thing. You know what I mean? And then leave Sunday evening or something. But as of right now, nah, I might have to sit this one out. I think I'm gonna go to the next big heavyweight fight that's here. Um, After this is over with, obviously. So whether it's something that's jumping off in the summertime or something that's later in the year, I'm gonna go to the next big heavyweight fight. One of the non-heavyweight fights that I will travel to is when Crawford get in there with Spence. Whenever that's gonna happen, I'll definitely go to that one. That's probably one of the few non-heavyweight fights that I will travel to. Let me see. Harold Jones says morning from Atlantic King. Salute, man, no doubt. Jay Royal says haven't made a live in a long time. Thanks for always bringing us the news that we can use. Oh, for sure, Jay Royal. Howard Jones says Fury might feel it's safer to be inside because maybe that's not where Wilder's power band is. Hey, bro, I kind of disagree, Harold. I understand you saying that that's what Fury may think, but some of them right hands that Wilder land, bro, I know we look at it like they're long right hands, which they are, but some of them are short. Like the Spilka one, that was pretty short. That was just a little short chipping right hand. You know what I mean? So, and I think some of his other punches are underrated, like his hook, his left hook. I don't think it's as powerful as the right hand. His hook, and he has a decent uppercut when he wants to throw a Wilder. But I get what you're saying though. It damn near seems as if I'd rather fight Wilder at close quarters, shoulder to shoulder, smothering him, that type of thing. What Fury likes to do, like he did against Cunningham. Uh, like he was trying to do against Wallen when he was putting, smothering him, putting his body weight on him, stuff like that. But I just think it's dangerous, man. Just being in there with Wilder's is dangerous, period, bro. Like whether you're short, long, I mean, it just seems dangerous altogether. Um, The boxing spreadsheet, my man Blood Boxing up in here. So salute Blood. J Real says I absolutely do not believe Fury is going to fight Wilder toe to toe. He ain't James Toney. He gets hit way too much. J Real also want to say one thing Wilder did that I like is he didn't fall for Fury's feints, ate a couple of jabs, but stayed in better position to punch and busted Fury up in those first handful of rounds. Yes, and he was also targeting the body as well. And you're right, he wasn't falling for a lot of feints. He kept the high guard tight, you know what I mean? And he was uh, pretty much staying with Fury, targeting the body a lot. To me, I thought he was almost targeting the body too much later in the fight because I was like, man, bring him upstairs now. Now Fury slowed down, bring him upstairs. But it's like he was so committed to that I don't know if he thought he was Mike McCallum or Julio Cesar Chavez Senior. I'm not sure who the hell he thought he was with the body shots, but I thought he should have went upstairs a little bit more later in that fight, and he actually buzzed Fury later on in that fight upstairs. I believe it was the 12. My man Jeff say less. He says, "I don't know, man. I've seen guys try that and get hit with one of Wilder's sneaky uppercuts, completely abandoned fighting in close." And I appreciate that $5 holla, Jeff. Yeah, man, that's what I was just saying, bro. Like I'm not sure there's nowhere safe to really fight him on the outside, I guess, and try to just be able to avoid his right hand. But it's like you're gonna get hit with it. That's like his right hand is like fighting Larry Holmes and saying, I'm gonna try to not get hit with the jab. You know what I mean? It's like fighting you know what I mean, James Toney, and you're saying you're not gonna get hit with a counter right hand. Nah, it's gonna happen. It's just how does it affect you and how well can you take it? It's gonna happen. It's definitely gonna happen. You know what I mean? My man Blood says, I just saw the presser. I can't believe this fight is so close. Yeah, bro, it's a quick turnaround. Salute to my man, not Raji up in here. He says he isn't going toe to toe. He'll get KO'd early. Dominic Hardy says if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Fury had great success with his original game plan until he got fatigued and dropped twice. We know Wilder has problems with fighters that move well. Yeah, you know what I mean. Wilder will let some rounds go away. And shout out to my man BFTB, boxing. He brought up. I was watching his live yesterday, very entertaining live. Listened to his live yesterday. He brought up a good analogy and just a good point that a lot of us have been making. But the way he eloquently stated it yesterday was perfect. What he was saying that it's kind of like war, right? Or it's kind of like yeah, like a war. Like sometimes you may lose some battles, you know what I mean? And in Wilder's case, rounds, which is some battles, rounds, but then he'll just drop the atomic bomb and win the war, aka win the fight. And that's pretty much how it is with him. You know what I mean? He's okay with uh he's not concerned with I gotta win round three. I gotta win round five. Like he's not looking at it like that. He's looking just to lull you to sleep, use the jab, uh, get you to believe that you're, outboxing them and, get you to try to bite a little bit more off the sandwich than you can really eat. And then you're going to be eating the right hand and going to sleep. You know what I mean? To me, that takes skill. But I know a lot of people saying, oh, he doesn't have any skill. Well, it takes skill to knock out everybody you fight, man. That takes skill, especially the way he's doing it. He's not a Joe Frazier, Mike Tyson, Rocky Marcy, or you know what I mean, that come forward, steamroll you type of guy. You know what I mean? So shit, almost you almost can argue Larry Holmes was more aggressive that fought more aggressively than Deontay Wilder. I'm talking about late '70s, early '80s Larry. I ain't talking about box fade Larry. You know what I mean? Um, for somebody that has such power that he has, he's not really super aggressive like that as far as his style. And when he did come out like that, it was the fight ended in a draw. You know what I mean? And that was the Fury fight. That was the sloppiest I've seen Wilder throughout the duration of a fight that went that many rounds. You know what I mean? So yeah, talked about the presser. Let me get to Breazeale. Now, let me talk about Dominic Breazeale really, really quick, man. Let me look this up because I wanna talk about exactly what he said. And I don't want to misquote him, man. So let me dig this up right quick. Y'all bear with me for a second. Let me find his Instagram. Okay, so the first time Breazeale came out, now, okay, Adam Kownacki, they're saying it's going to be Robert Helenius. All right, now the last time I checked, Robert Helenius was, I did a video about this the other day. He was the favorite to fight Kownacki, I believe March 7th. I believe it's March 7th at the Barclays. And Kownacki has a little Polish following. I'm not gonna lie. Sit here in front. He has a nice Polish following. But he's going to headline at the Barclays. Okay. The three opponents they had was Breazeale, Christian Hammer, and Robert Helenius. Okay. They're saying that a lot of us thought it was Breazeale at first. We just thought that was the most logical thing. It makes sense, action packed. The American fans know a lot about Breazeale. He's only had his two losses were to Wilder and Joshua. Yes, he is coming off a loss, but I'm not sure who's the last guy Christian Hammer beat. And the last guy that Helenius beat was a journeyman. But guess who Helenius' last loss was to? A guy that Kownacki beat, Gerald Washington. And nothing against Gerald, but it's just like, so hold on. So you're going to fight, you beat Gerald Washington, who was Helenius' last loss here on PBC, actually my neck of the woods here in Minnesota, downtown Minneapolis at the Armory. So it's like, this is just a weird opponent selection. This isn't the 2012 version of Robert Helenius, man. This is a long in the tooth. Uh, Helenius' best last good highlight was clipping Dillian White, and White got buzzed in that fight. And then Helenius had two. Got this journeyman's name, but it's Yuri, and his last name starts with a B. But he struggled in both of those fights. I thought he could have lost both of those damn fights. You know what I mean? So and I understand this is just a showcase fight to watch a big, tall, 6'8" dude go. This is just a showcase fight to watch a 6'8" guy go timber on TV. That's all it is. A showcase fight for Kownacki. All right. But Dominic Breazeale has been asking for this fight. He first put up. You go to his Instagram. He put up a post November 5th, saying he put up a picture of him and Kownacki in a picture, kind of facing off. You know what I mean? He put that picture up. That was in November, the first week of November. Now, he came out yesterday. I'm on his Instagram right now. 22 hours ago. He has a caption of Howard the Duck. Y'all remember that movie, Howard the Duck, in the 80s? I believe it was the late 80s or the early 90s. The Howard the Duck movie, all right? He has a picture of Howard the Duck. And this is what he says. He says, the look on, he said, the look on AK Babyface, Adam Kownacki, he added him, when it comes to signing the contract to fight me. Now he wants to fight a washed up dude instead of giving the fans a heavyweight slugfest and fighting me. Go ahead and pad your record and stay safe. At some point, you'll have to fight. I'll stay in the gym and I'll continue to look for the best fights for the fan. #trouble. Okay? So I know a lot of you are going to say, but Mr. Boxing, he's coming off a KO loss. Oh, okay. But at the same time, though, Rob Helenius, yeah, he won his last fight, but it was against a journeyman that I'll have to look back to see who it was again. I don't even know who the dude was. And it's saying something if I haven't heard of the damn journeyman. You know what I mean? I don't think I did. I have to look again. All right. But I mean, so shit, Dominic Breazeale should just fight next week real quick. Just fight a journeyman, fight on some damn card in Toledo, Ohio somewhere, or you know what I mean, Chattanooga or some shit. Just go fight somewhere. You know what I mean? Uh Just go fight at some random venue, man, against some club fighter, just so we can say, hey, he's coming off a win. Like, I'm not even bullshit, man. Try to get on this card this next month or something. I don't know, man. Try to do something. I really don't know. If there's a card next week, try to jump on that motherfucker just to say that you went around. You know what I mean? But it should be Dominic Breazeale, man. Yes, he's coming off a loss, but it can be like a redemption thing. You know what I mean? And he can really gauge where he's at, Dominic Breazeale, with a fight with Adam. They won't have to go looking for each other. I know that. And it's a winnable fight because his opponent fights in a manner where he's going to come right to him. But what do y'all think about that, though, man? Do you think Breazeale has a case? Or do you think, hey, man, Adam Kownacki is trying to, showcase himself? He's trying to savor his position, for a big fight later on in the year. What do y'all think about that? Me, I think it should be, okay, there you go, Dominic Hardy says Helenius beat Matias Roberto Osoro, who was 9-4 via TKO in November. And I haven't even heard of that dude. Now, that's saying some shit if I ain't heard of him. You know what I'm saying? My man Stormy B man up here, he says that's the thing. People are underestimating Wilder's boxing abilities and IQ. He sets you up and capitalizes on any mistakes. It's just he can turn your lights out completely. And I agree, Stormy B, man. That's well put, bro. Yes, blood or a boxing spreadsheet. Wilder likes to set stuff up, set traps. Yeah, he does. He'll get you think you're real comfortable. Oh, this is easy. Like this dude, how the hell was he knocking it? Bow! Right when you thinking and talking and all that shit, you get hit right on the temple, right in the, and it's anywhere. I heard Vander say, Evander Holyfield's like, look, man, and you know how Evander, he's like, look, man, this this boy knocked you out with with the cuff of his glove. That boy got power. Even Evander can see it. Like this boy didn't knock you out with the cuff of his punch. Not even a full punch, the cuff of the motherfucker. Like he's slapping you to sleep. Man, y'all can play with fire if you want to, man. But so yeah, that's what Dominic Breazeale had to say. I just wanted to get that out there, man. And also, yeah, and let me touch on this, man. I gotta get to this, y'all. Oh, Ruiz came out on his Instagram yesterday asking the fans who do they want to see him in the ring with next. I'm hearing Dillian White name be thrown in there with a few guys right now. I'm hearing Povetkin and I'm hearing Ruiz Jr. Um, let's say that Dillian White takes the Povetkin route. Uh, hey man, Dominic Breazeale versus Andy Ruiz Jr. Wouldn't be a bad. Both their fights, they're coming off losses in championship fights. You know what I mean? Stylistically, it makes sense. I like that one. Another person, Dominic Breazeale, that you can. I understand you want my man Adam Kownacki, bro, but you gotta remember Charles Martin was saying, and I did a video about this recently. He's saying that you didn't want to smoke with him. I don't know how true it is. I'm just, just putting what he put out there. You know what I'm saying? Who else? Jarrell Miller's back too. So Dom, if you listening, bro, there's some viable guys out there for you to fight, not just Adam. Now, I understand whatever it is. I'm not gonna say it's Adam, but his team, if they, you know, I'm not sure if it's more of his team or if it's him or if they're in unison with this, if they're on one accord with this to not fight you. I'm not sure. All right. So yeah, Andy did come out with something with me. I would like to see Andy. You can even throw like an Oscar Rivas in there. So Andy, if you come back, bro, Oscar Rivas, um, Dominic Breazeale, Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz is another one out there. Let me all make sure I put Luis Ortiz out there. So any mix of those guys, man, get up in there with them. You know what I mean? And Ortiz, shit. How about Ortiz and Dominic Breazeale fight next? There's still some good ass fights out there. Hey, just because you get baptized by Wilder, man, doesn't mean that there's still not some really good fights out there. Or just because you take a loss to Fury or Anthony Joshua, the guys that are the top guys, it's still some good fights out there to make, man. It's not just all over because you lost to Wilder. You know what I mean? You just couldn't get out the way of that right hand, and it's pretty much happening to everybody. Um, so yeah, touched on the Wilder Fury presser, touched on Ruiz Breazeale. Yeah, let me get to this, man. Before I get to that, before I get to Parker, or rather Dave Higgins, who was his manager, I could just, as soon as I seen the headline, I said, no, he didn't say that. No, he didn't just say that, man. Especially the environment that we're in right now with boxing. No, he didn't just say that. But I'm gonna get to what I've seen in a second. All right, let me get to what y'all. Urine card up in here was good. God of War says it's dangerous game Wilder is playing. If you don't win rounds and something happens, you lose. A technical decision, a cut that blinds him or something else. Boxers should win rounds. I agree with that, God of War. Especially if you're a guy that doesn't rely on knockouts or you really don't have that type of ability. But Wilder sets it up though. But first let me say this. Shout out to my man D Style Boxing. He brought up an excellent point in one of his videos, man. Wilder fights in a manner that boxing was pretty much the root of what boxing is all about. The foundation of it was to go in there and knock a motherfucker out. That's why fights way back in the days went 30 rounds, 52 rounds, 77 rounds because they couldn't stop, beat down, make the other guy submit and quit. Wilder's actually fighting the sport how it was first meant to be, to knock people out, to rear people unconscious to where they're counted out or they don't want no more. They throw in the white flag and say uncle. So technically, if you follow the history of it, he's actually fighting in a manner that boxing was first presented. The outcome that mattered the most. The outcome that left a definitive winner. A knockout. I get what you're saying though. You don't want to be losing rounds, or not really trying to go out there to necessarily win the round, so to speak. But you're letting rounds just go away, and then the 12th round. But I think Wilder is comfortable with fighting like that. I don't think everybody can do what he's doing. I get what you're saying though. I just think that he's kind of mastered his own thing that he likes to do. This whole thing that he does, man. This is him. Like a guy like Mike Tyson was opposite, right? I'm trying to get dropped there early right now. Everybody in the damn world, everybody in the arena, the concession stand dudes, the dude in the front row, the ref, everybody know what I'm coming to do. Because I'm showing you in round one when the bell rings what I'm here to do. Wilder just does it in flip. He does it in a flip way. Like he's gonna be patient, probe Paul with the jab, step over to the right to see how you react, step over to the left to see how you react, while he's probing and pushing the jab, and then he might step in with a hard. I mean, he just setting it up in different little ways, man. And this is what he likes to do. You know what I mean? But and look, there's a few fights where I thought that he was losing on the cards, or at least losing on my card. But he brings that equalizer, man, and he has the equalizer of all equalizers, bro. But technically, he's fighting the way they set boxing up. Technically. Ewan Carter says, like Wilder said, the heavyweight division is built off power, not skill like Floyd would have you think. Wilder knockouts is proof of that. And Ewan Carter, add something to that. All the great boxer mover guys all had to stand and fight at some point, especially when they got older. Ali, totally different version guy than when he started as a young, fresh, vibrant, charismatic, magnetic Cassius Clay. And he stayed that way throughout his career too. But you get what I'm saying? Got to stand and fight sometimes. Larry Holmes, y'all know I love me some Larry Holmes. Got to stand and fight, man. Got to fight. As I like to say, you got to fight a motherfucker up off you. They call them boxer punchers. Okay, well, you need to be a boxer fighter today. Because sometimes you got to, Ali had to stand and dig to get Joe Frazier up off him. You get what I'm saying? So power and standing and fighting is just a part of the heavyweight division. There's no other way around it. And either you're going to sink or swim by doing that. Vladimir Klitschko, now he implemented holding, but he still had to plant feet and stand ground and make something happen. And I don't think Tyson Fury, man, is that's a lot of damn weight to be lugging around. That's why he was getting caught, because sometimes he has to stand and trade and stand his ground sometimes, and that's when you're vulnerable against Deontay Wilder. But you know what though? I also have said before, man, that I think with Wilder, bro, he might be like the catch me before I catch you guy. You might have to go in there and just look for knockouts with him. And I know with Mr. Boxing, you just said 30 minutes ago that's, yeah, bro, but you're playing with fire anyways. You know what I mean? He might be the type of dude where you got to get him before he gets you, man, where you have to go look. And that's why I said I want to just, although I will favor him in these fights, I just want to see how it looks or how it plays out against an Adam Kownacki, a Jarrell Miller, Andy, somebody is just willing to, I'm getting right in your chest and I'm gonna go all out. I just want to see how that looks, because Duhaupas had shades of success. You know what I mean? Molina landed a good short little left hook, shades of success. Some guys had some shades of success. When Ortiz was in close, even though they were quick counters, but they were quick short little punches, he was having some success in the Wilder fights. So I just want to see if somebody can take that and build on that, and then see how Wilder responds to that. You know what I mean? Now, let me get to this real quick. Parker, or not even so much Parker, but Dave Higgins, okay? I couldn't believe he said it, man. Now, the dude said, He said, we're the A side. This is Dave Higgins. 70-30 split for us if they are to meet Usyk, and if that WBO, if they end up stripping, or if Joshua vacates so he can fulfill his IBF mandatory fight with Pulev, whatever the WBO decides to do, if that title is vacated, they're going to have Usyk versus Parker, and it almost seems as if, just by reading this, like Team Parker is starting with a non-starter as far as negotiation. Now, I am a big believer in go high, just go high. So I just look, I don't mind him saying it, but it's like, because I know you're trying to go high and then meet in the middle. I understand that logic of doing business, okay, and making deals. I understand that, but it just don't come off well, man. Just not right now. Not with all the shit that we've had to endure, especially over the last 3-4 years, especially at the heavyweight division, when this shit starts seeping through, coming into the heavyweight division with these money splits and A side, and now you got So this is what he said. He says, I'm gonna just read everything that he said, man, and then I'm gonna give my opinion about what Higgins said. Higgins went on to say, Usyk has not earned his stripes at heavyweight. Higgins told Sky Sports. Joseph Parker is the A side, and Joseph Parker has sold out Principality Stadium with Joshua. He sold out the O2 with White. Okay. Then he also says he's the A side. And so if Usyk wants to share the ring with Parker, I would be expecting a 70-30 open book revenue share in Parker's favor. I'll get ridiculed for that, but listen, Parker has beaten Andrew Ruiz. He sold out Principality in the O2, and he's a big name in the UK. So Usyk is the B side. Absolutely, Joe would fight him as long as Usyk's team recognize and understand that they are the B side. There's no problem. There's a saying that style makes fights. I think Joseph Parker has a better chance against Usyk than, say, Anthony Joshua. I think Usyk would dissect Anthony Joshua, too big and slow, whereas Parker is quick. We haven't seen the best of Joseph yet. It's a very good fight, and we really respect their team, but we are the A side, and as long as they are willing to accept a small percentage of the revenue, then there might be a deal. That stood out to me, all right, when he said, but we're the A side. As long as they are willing to accept a small percentage of the revenue, then there might be a deal. That is coming off so diva. There might be a deal if they accept a small percentage. Somebody, before I even, bro, am I like hold, let me read it one more time. Let me make sure my comprehension skills are sharp. Okay. He says, as long as they are willing to accept a small percentage of the revenue, then there might be a deal. That's how that's coming off to me, bro. That is coming off so diva. And then this whole thing about you selling out the print. No, man. Look, Anthony Joshua can fight me at the O2 and is going to sell out. Okay? Or Principality, wherever the hell y'all fought. Dillian White can fight the Milkman at the O2 or Principality and is going to get large numbers. The UK people, they just love their fighters, man. Chisora and fucking David Price had a big buzz around it. Knock it off that you know you were a part of, and no matter who was in there that night. Now, yes, it was a unification fight. I'll give you that. But don't make it seem like, man, if it wasn't Joseph Parker tonight, we wouldn't have had this turnout. They were still going to have that turnout. Come on, Dave Higgins, man. Don't Parker, please. Hey, Joe, man, I know you're laid back, but Joe, you got to come out and say something, bro. Like, don't let them get that diva jacket on you, bro. Because this sounds like some diva type shit. Okay, so what did you do okay, so Dave Higgins, what did and I like JP, man, but what did he do after? He fought in fucking Rhode Island. And nothing against Rhode Island, but Rhode Island ain't no, you know what I mean? No big boxing place like the, no, you know what I'm saying? Come on, y'all, we know that. And nothing against Rhode Island. My high school point guard was from Rhode Island. Played against him in college too. But anyways, yeah, so come on, man, let's knock it off. And then he fought somewhere else, and then he's about to fight on a undercard of Vargas and them, man, and Garcia and them. Come on, man, knock it off, man. All right, and then well, shit, didn't Usyk and Bellew sell out the was it Manchester Arena or some shit like that? Where did they fight at? Manchester or something? So should Usyk say, well, hey man, I sold out Manchester Arena, wherever him and Bell you fought at? Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Come on with the shenanigans, man. The dude's undefeated. He's the mandatory. Whether you like the way the WBA sets up who can be a mandatory, with a guy moving up from that weight class. If he was the WBO champion, when he comes up a weight class, he can be the number one contender or the mandatory rather. I don't agree with that type of shit either, but that's what they have in place for their criteria. Fine. But you come out all 70-30, and if it is 70-30, then we might take the fight. But look, maybe he's trying to do the okey doke, go high and really try to get like a 50-50. Who knows? If that's what he's trying to do, more power to him. I don't have no problem with that. But it's just right now though, man, I think he should do that more behind. He could have left that part for like more behind closed doors between them. You know what I mean? But saying it like this, and because it's going to be reported, man, everybody's going to talk about it. It's going to come off like some diva type shit. But yes, I do agree with Higgins. He hasn't earned his stripes at heavyweight. You know what I mean? But it's not like he's you know, yeah, he hasn't earned his stripe. This isn't an Evander Holyfield type of thing where it took Evander some series of fights before he got his title shot. Although they were trying to move him up to fight Tyson right away, he had to take on some fights. He had to, you know, fight Michael Dokes and fight Alex Stewart, and he had to take them type of fights. Fight James Tillis and all them dudes. You know what I mean? So yes, he fought, Usyk fought Chaz Witherspoon, and he wasn't exciting. You know what I mean? It was kind of lackluster, but he got the job done. But I don't agree with Dave Higgins, man. Now, if I'm the manager of Parker and I'm managing him, yes, I'm trying to get my client the best deal possibly monetarily. That's their job. That's what he's supposed to do. So I don't mind him having that mindset to go high and try to get somewhere in the middle of that. But to say it publicly, it just comes off like you're making JP into a diva, man. My opinion on it. But that's pretty much it. Let me get to what y'all talking about, man. Let me see. P Money was good, bro. He says, if this is a toe to toe fight, this will be a short night for Fury. I agree. Whether he I agree. I totally agree, man. Because it's not like he's the although Fury can smother and get close and likes to wrap you up and use uppercuts and lean on you against the ropes and all that, he isn't like he's Joe Frazier on the inside. You know what I mean? And it's still gonna be power for power. I'm picking Wilder if he wants to try to do anything that has to do with standing toe to toe or standing ground and holding resistance. No, I'm picking Wilder. Retros for life, 79 boxing was good, man. He says salute Mr. Boxing in the chat. Wilder got that caveman club. Yeah, you do. He got that motherfucking Barney Rubble club. You know what I mean? Like on the Flintstone. He got that Barney Rubble. Lowland Profits was good. He says White will take path of least resistance. The boxing spreadsheet says Form used to give these guys a little bit of his power, but not full blast. Get them comfortable. Bam. Wilder been doing that as well. Ewing Carter says Ruiz versus Ortiz that he wants to see. They want to see. I like that one too. Dominic Hardy says Ruiz would KO Breazeale just like he did Dimitrenko, tall guy that blocks punches with his face. Yes, that's what Breazeale does do. That's what he does do. Uh, and Breazeale has trouble sometimes with heavy-handed, shorter guys. I remember Mansoor had him on the back foot down there the whole fight. Now he ended up busting Mansoor's mouth up. Mansoor ended up claiming that he was swallowing blood. His tongue got cut open, and he quit on his stool, or he called it quits on the stool. And Breazeale was coming on late in that one. But yes, Breazeale, um, he does block with his face. The dude will go to war. You know what I mean? So it's fan friendly as far as watching it. Stormer B-Man says, listen, that punch that Ortiz, he says, listen, that punch to Ortiz forehead, his forehead, bro, that dude looked like a pocket QB that got hit by Ray Lewis. Yes. Man, this power, and I know people, oh, you're a fanboy. It's like, man, whatever, man. Like, say whatever you want to say. That's not going to deter me from speaking the damn truth, man. This power is unprecedented, man. Like this is, and it's from round 1 to 12. He's not like you. Like I keep saying, I know I keep saying this, man, but I got to. He's not like your typical power puncher guy, where and Blood brought it up, especially the older George Foreman would set it up like that. But he's not the I'm coming out full blast. And Sonny Liston was another guy that had heavy hands that would set it up. You know what I mean? So there's a few guys, but Wilder's power is just from he's not a front runner with it though. You know what I mean? It's from rounds 1 to 12, literally. You don't know when the hell it's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen. P Money says, that's what I want. Ortiz versus Ruiz. That's next. A great fight. Yep, that is a good one. I agree. Dominic Hardy says, side note, what do you think about F.A. Jagba versus Frank Sanchez? Ooh, that's a good one, man. F.A. has been in, he's had to prove himself more. So I think he'll be probably more well equipped right now. I'll probably take F.A. in that one. Let me see here. Urine Carter says, Mr. Boxing, has anyone been same after fighting Wilder? Let me see. Stavern, shit, but Stavern went on a damn hiatus as well, though. Like with Stavern, I'm lying. He did fight later on that year in 2015. He ended up getting dropped with the right hand by what's my man's name? My man that Trevor Bryan beat, Derek Rossi. You know what I mean? And he was having a lot of time off Stavern, man. So let me see. Stavern. I mean, shit, at least Fury went on to win some fights. He didn't look all that great against Wallen. I'm trying to think everybody who Wilder didn't baptize. Spilka pretty much been a wrap after. Um, Ortiz. And people say Ortiz struggled against Christian Hammer, but should always say, man, Christian Hammer should, I guess Povetkin struggled too. Christian Hammer's not just the easiest guy to look good against, man. But Mr. Boxing, Marius Walk knocked him out. Yeah, he landed a good ass right hand, and that was early in Hammer's career, and he got caught. You know what I mean? Tyson Fury, I mean, he's just not a hard guy to look great against, is what I'm telling you. But Ortiz, he had, came back, blasted out some guys. Look, man, I ain't got to even think all that hard. Being knocked out takes something out of you. And being knocked out by Deontay Wilder is going to take something out of you as well. Johan, let me see, who else? Uh, Gerald Washington. Well, Gerald Washington dropped one to Kownacki, but he did beat Robert Helenius in his last one, and he beat John Wesley No Fire. I mean, I think a knockout to anybody's gonna take something out of you. So there's no different with the Deontay Wilder knockout. So no reason for me to even go through them. Golden Ave says Ortiz should fight White next. If White win, he deserves to fight Wilder. Bro, Golden Ave, man, we've been calling for that one for a while, man. You know what I mean? At this point, I just don't think Dillian White wants to fight him, man. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. I just don't think he wants it. Don't think he wants it. Harold Jones says the old timers also like Wilder did not throw many punches. Yeah, they'll set you up footwork. You know what I mean? Jersey Joe Wolcott has some of the best footwork. But a lot of them guys like to set you up. Even Rocky Marciano used to try to set you up. Rocky liked to lean back onto his right foot and keep that jab, kind of pro with that jab. And I'm kind of leaning right now, but pro with that, and then come over with that right hand. You know what I mean? He try to pick you apart. Um, P Money says hashtag Judgment Day is coming for Wilder. My man Blood. Let me see. Focus Ball up in here. What's good, Focus Ball? He says salute at Mr. Box. Salute to you as well, man. My man Blood, the boxing spreadsheet says I respect Fury for coming over here to America twice and fighting Wilder. That's rare in this boxing setting. I got Wilder by KO round 9. Definitely gives I salute Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is all around crazy, man. So that's one thing about Fury, man. We probably won't like his antics. I think he says some outlandish stuff. Sometimes I don't believe the stuff that he says, but the dude will fight, man. The dude will take challenges. You know what I mean? Uh, Even when he's doubted, the dude to take challenges, he'll travel to where he traveled over to fight Klitschko. He traveled to where Klitschko likes to fight at. He's over here traveling to where Wilder likes. I mean, gotta get to do with his props, like you said, especially in this era. Tyson Fury gets my respect. Now I think he's gonna get baptized. I think he's gonna get baptized. Uh, but the dude has some balls, man. Now, has he always done what I wanted him to do as far as a career? No, because I want him to take the Wilder rematch immediately. But what's already understood don't have to be explained. You know what I mean? We know that the dude just wanted to go out there, seek a big deal with ESPN and get some more fights. You know what I mean? Just because he didn't come out and tell us that, we know what it is. We know what it is. You know what I mean? But he's, they're fighting again in a fucking month. So props to Tyson Fury for coming over here, man. He didn't make this about, oh, but the UK fans need it, and none against my UK subscribers and anybody from UK right now. But he didn't use that as an excuse. You know, he's not using that as an excuse. He wants to come over here and try to take over America. You know what I mean? And he's doing it by his actions. So props to Fury, man. Not just with his words and antics and interviews and promoter talking for him, but with his actions, his real actions. Um, Tommy Temper says Fury is clearly back on the powder. He said he would KO Wilder first fight. Yeah, Fury said a lot of stuff, man. Mr. Egg, I never knew how to pronounce your name. I always see you on Blood Channel. I see you leave messages on mine. Is it Mr. Egg God One? I always see you, man. I never know how to pronounce, but he says it's going to be a great fight. I can't wait. I, yeah, same here. Volcano says, "Salute, Mr. Box. What's good, bro?" Urine Carter says, "Fury in big trouble. He can't move for 12 rounds." Golden Ave says, "Ortiz versus White next." Urine Carter says, "They play out the same way the Ortiz fight did. Looking good against Wilder, then boom, or then bam, baby, good night. Good night, Irene." Tone Banger's up in here. He says, "Higgins done lost his damn mind." Yes, he has, man. Stormy Beeman says, "Mr. Boxing, fighters like Ray Mercer could give Wilder trouble. Mercer, Spoon, and Holmes." Ray could damn near take you throwing a brick at his face, man. So, as powerful as Wilder is with that one hitter quitter, man, I think Ray will take a few and at least make it rocky for Wilder, man. Because that dude took some hard shots from a lot of fighters, man. A lot of heavy handed dudes, Lennox Lewis, Tommy Moore. People forget, man, although he made a movie out of the Tommy Morrison knockout, just a sequence of how the knockout happened. People forget that Tommy Morrison was tagging up Ray Mercer in those beginning rounds. People kind of forget that. So Mercer has a damn chin on him, man. And he didn't get stopped until when he was literally over the hill. You know what I'm saying? Ray Mercer. He got dropped. I remember Holyfield dropped him and things like that, but um, tough. You know what I mean? And then Larry with the jab, the toughness, but you've seen Larry dropped a lot of times, right? Ronaldo Snipes and Weaver and Shavers, and you know what I mean? You've seen Larry hurt and wobbled and dropped and shit, but the thing about Larry, besides the Tyson fight, and that's why people say Tyson never fought, just speak on this briefly, he never fought nobody. Hey man, people don't give him credit for knocking out Larry Holmes. But that was an old Larry. Okay, well, tell that old Larry Holmes shit to Ray Mercer. You know what I mean? Tell that old Larry Holmes shit to Evander Holyfield. So that, to me, that we need to give Mike Tyson credit for knocking out Larry Holmes, man. The only fucking dude to do it. You know what I mean? Spoon, though, bro, I'm not sure about Tim. Because I've seen Tim get bum rushed before, man. Was it the second Bone Crusher Smith fight? Now, we can say that he had a lot on his mind. Don King was, taking his money and all that type of thing. I've heard about that. I've seen it be documented. Actually heard Tim talk about it. Um, I don't know about that. I had to disagree with you on that one, Stormy. I think Wilder gets him out of there, probably the easiest out of the three. I'm picking Holmes to beat Wilder though. I just think I think there's a possibility of him hurting Holmes and dropping him, but I'm not sure how Wilder will be able to react to that jab, man. That is look as impressive. I as impressed I am with Wilder's right hand. I'm that as impressed, or if not more, when it comes to Larry Holmes' jab. He was knocking motherfucker. He knocked Osio Casio down, hurt, buzzed him bad with the jab. That motherfucker was like a lightning rod, man. Um, and he had a quick right hand, a stunning. And that's another thing. I'm not sure if Wilder would be able to deal with Larry Holmes' quickness like that. Larry Holmes was a quick 1-2 puncher. Pop, 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 pop. I mean, he used to get them motherfuckers off like popcorn, man. Like, and it wasn't just a 1-2 and then have to get set. It was 1-2, 1-2. I mean, he could throw like a six straight punches. You know, the one and the jab right hand, jab right hand. I mean, he'd do that shit so fast. He was a fast puncher, pinpoint, accurate. I think he can offset Wilder, man. If Fury was able to do some of the things I seen him do, and Fury was able to keep Wilder at bay at times, missing jabs, where Wilder was just sitting there and again playing into Wilder's hands at some point because Wilder likes to just sit back. But some of that shit was keeping him off, just keeping him off. And Larry at his best has a good pair of legs that I think can equal Tyson Fury's. You know, but that's a fantasy matchup though, man. Fantasy matchup though. Let me see. My man D Style up in this thing. What's good, D Style? My man Mr. Nat Attorney One up in here. Family from the old school, D Style, Blood, and Mr. Natty Turner, man. Remind me back in the day, the 2009, 2008. Let me see what y'all talking about though, man. Get back up in here. Set Shot says, what happened to Usyk versus Chisora? Not sure yet, man. I'm thinking that Hearn and Usyk and everybody involved is just waiting to see what the WBO is going to do. If they go ahead and vacate that strap or take it away from whatever, from Joshua or whatever, they're going to make Usyk versus Parker for the vacant title, the mandatory versus who was number one, Usyk versus number two guy, Parker. If they let AJ keep it, then I think in the meantime, in between time, Usyk will fight Chisora. That's my guess on it. I guess we'll sit back and see though. Dominic Hardy says, I say 60-40 at worst. Parker is more proven at heavyweight. Usyk is popular, but not sure he is selling out arenas. His last fight here in Chicago was decent, but didn't sell out. And my counter to that, Dominic, is if he gets 60-40, great for Parker. I'm not sitting here saying he should get this much. It's just the 70-30, and we might take the fight as his Dave Higgins said, just sounds diva-ish. Now, if he gets 60-40, more power. Hey, if he gets 70-30, more power. If he gets 80-20, more power to him. You know what I mean? But I'm willing to say that Usyk, now I don't have the numbers in front of me, but if I were had to guess, I would think that Usyk's turnout in Chicago would be a lot, I think that turnout will be better. Let's say if Parker was in Chicago trying to headline against a Chaz Witherspoon type, because I think there's a bigger population of where's Usyk from the Ukraine. You know what I mean? So, because there's little segments here in the States, man, where there's a huge It's like Adam Kownacki right now. He has a big following out there in Brooklyn. Like, I was actually surprised until I did looked it up. It's like, oh, New York and Illinois have the highest population of Polish people. So it makes sense why he has it. Because I was thinking, like, damn, where all these motherfuckers come from? Like, they came to see this, like, but then I put two and two together. I looked it up. It's like, oh, New York has a lot of fucking Polish people. You know what I mean? So to me, when you do bring guys over there, put them in areas to where a lot of their people are residing at. That makes the most sense. You know what I mean? If you bring a like a fighter of Asian descent, unless you're fucking Manny Pacquiao or something, but like, somebody like that, you want to put them in Cali or even here in Minnesota. Last I checked, Minnesota and California has the highest population of the, Asian population. You know what I mean? So you want to do things like that, man. Put them in the right region when you're here in the States. With Parker, man, they're just throwing them anywhere because, in my opinion, just put them anywhere. At least with Usyk, it seems more like they have a plan with him. With Parker, it's just like he's just trying to get some work in, and that's fine. But yes, Usyk is not proven at heavyweight. He's done. He was undisputed at cruiser, uh, joining O'Neal, Bell, and the great Evander Holyfield as the only three cruiserweights to accomplish that. Usyk being the first in the four built era with the criteria changing since the WBO has been added. You know what I mean? But hopefully they just come to the table and get something in agreement. Unless, hey man, unless Higgins gonna say nope, the hell with it. You don't want to give us 70-30 or anything remotely close. We don't care. We don't want the title shot. Is would how would Parker deal with that? What would Parker say about that? Like, hold on. You know what I mean? I still want that damn title shot, man. So let's, try to go down in this negotiation. Let's try to, even it up a little bit. I guess we'll see though, man. I'm just speculating. My man Blood, bro, I'm sorry, man. I'm so you're blood boxing, bro. I know it's the boxing spreadsheet, but Blood says yes, sir. Stormy B, man. I think the '90 heavies were very good in an underrated era. I definitely agree with that. Um, Tommy Temper says Stormy. He's talking about man. Stormy says, "Shot to answer your question." Stormy B, man says Dubois is the answer for useless. He's the answer for all them UK and second tier pretenders. Lowland Prophet says hype jobs ducking each other. P Money says Higgins is a fool. Harold Jones says Parker sold his soul to Hearn, and they will take what Massa Hearn gives them. Dominic Hardy says Higgins definitely worded it wrong. Parker's a draw, but AJ brought the numbers. Yes, he worded that wrong, bro. Talking about something he sold out. No, man. Dillian White and Anthony Joshua, them dudes are popular out there in the UK. So whatever venue they fight at is going to be a packed house because they're supportive like that out there. Those, the UK will come and watch. Like I said, Chisora versus Price was getting a lot of hype around it. You know what I mean? When Chisora fought Takum, you know what I mean? So they love their fighters out there, man. I guarantee you when if Dubois and Joyce gets made, they're going to pack that motherfucker out too. They just, that's how it is over there. I always give the UK fans props for that. You know what I mean? To us, they may, we know all the Callums and Liams and all them fights over there, man. They be going packing them places out to watch them dudes. Uh, David Watson says Parker versus Usyk should be 50-50 split for sure. Mr. Natty Turney 1 was good, bro. Let me see. Jay Royal says, shake my head. I can't stand listening to managers, promoters talk. I just couldn't care less about how much these fighters make. I'm paying my money to see these fights just fight. Hell yeah, I definitely agree. My man D Style said, "What's up, Mr. Box today?" Uploading the old McGregor versus Mayweather vid. Yes, and hey D Style, you still here? Yeah, there he is right there, bro. That shit was funny. I listened to it yesterday, and you were talking about McGregor's the only one that has the will to win. Yo, man, that is D Styles his videos leading up to the McGregor Mayweather fight classic, man. They were just classic because he was covering it from just different angles and he would respond to like what's the dude named Brendan Schwab and all these MMA guys talk about this fight and how McGregor you guys just don't understand he's gonna be D Style, you had me crying yesterday, man, when you were saying that after this he's gonna go to rugby and be a world champion and man, you guys gotta go listen to it, man. But D Style has some funny ass McGregor. They were funny, insightful, and he brought a lot of facts. And they're just awesome videos, man. But yes, D Style, checked it out yesterday. My man Cali Enigma up in this thing. Oh, let me get to that super chat. D Style says, year of the welterweights 2020. I appreciate that $2 holla, D Style. Hey man, the division is stacked, man. Then I seen the kid. What's that boy name? Jerome Ennis, Jerron Ennis. Hey, that little boy, hey, that kid can fight, man. But yeah, then you got the usual suspects: Garcia, Spence, Crawford. They all need. Well, no, let me rephrase that because the PBC guys are fighting each other. Crawford needs to get added into the mix. Let me rephrase that. Crawford needs to get added into the mix. Let me say that, okay? Because Pacquiao fought Thurman. You know what I mean? Porter then been in there with damn near everybody. You know what I mean? So they are fighting each other. Yeah, you guys up in there. You guys been in reports. Like I said, Porter been in there with everybody. If there's somebody that has been in there with everybody, it's fucking Porter. Damn, that dude been in there with everybody, man. Uh, yes, blood. D Style is crazy as hell. Then when D Style used to go at the dude. I don't even want to make this dude famous, but you know the dude that used to take bubble baths, him. He used to just destroy that dude, man. Them were classic videos too. Y'all know who I'm. Some of y'all probably like, who the fuck you talking about? It ain't even worth bringing his name up, man. But Blood and D Style and Mr. Knight, the old school YouTubers know who I'm talking about. The guys from like that 08, 09, 2010 era boxing uploaders, they know who I'm talking about. Yeah, Suds. Yeah, Suds, man. D Style used to flame broil him. You did too, Blood, but D Style used to do it in just a like an asshole way. You know what I mean? But the shit was yeah, Brandon White. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. Uh let me see. Gregory Wyatt up in here. What's good, man? Number one Super Pig said Tyson ate Holmes for breakfast easily. You talking about the Tyson Holmes fight? You know, man, the Eastern Assassin had that one round. I think it was a round before he got knocked out, maybe, where he was moving around, and I remember the commentary crew was like, "Oh, this looked like the old Eastern Assassin." It was like, yeah, but for about 30 seconds it did. Just look, man. As much as I love me some Larry, man, is he just wouldn't ever he wouldn't have beat Mike. He just wouldn't have beat him. Just styles all wrong. Um, and I think he would have probably had trouble. Well, not the late '70s version of Joe, but had he caught like that early '70s Joe, I think he would have had trouble with Joe as well, with Frazier. You know what I mean? Um, I like to keep it real with Larry, man. Y'all know I love me some Larry Holmes, man, but I don't think he would have just beat everybody. And I also thought there were some fights that he lost that they said he won. The Carl the Truth Williams fight and the Tim Witherspoon fight. And I love Larry Holmes, but you think so? Not Roger. You think Prime Larry would have stopped Mike? Nah, bro, he would have. Nah, I disagree, man. I disagree, man. I love Larry, man. I think he'd have been. That jab is something to behold, man. But I think Mike, Mike would have took them jabs though. Now I think Larry would have had to place home some nice, good right hands. Now I know you probably thinking, well, shit, man, look at the job that Buster Douglas did. You know what I mean? Larry Holmes at his best is that times 10 as far as with the speed, movement, toughness. You know what I mean? I think Buster probably a more heavy-handed, but I think uh, Larry could land more and bust you up more because he was just quicker and he would throw more. I don't know the CompuBox records of Buster Douglas versus Holmes or them going head to head as far as how many punches they threw, but just from the eye test, it seems as if Larry threw a lot more punches in his fights than Buster did in his fights. And Larry Holmes is a better fighter. But I'm just basing things off styles. Tyrell Biggs was like a watered down version of Ali and Larry Holmes, right? So movement gave Mike some problems, and putting stinging punches on him gave him some problems. Look at what the Cowboy did. You know what I mean? Look what the Cowboy did to Mike, early Mike. You know what I mean? So, and then, yeah, just movement really much gave Mike a lot of problems, man. Gave him a lot of problems. And his damn name just slipped my damn mind. And I'm looking at his having a damn afro in them trunks. I know he's from Oklahoma, Cowboy, and I forgot it. I hate when I do this and y'all. What's the dude's name, man? Y'all know who I'm talking about, man. Somebody, show me B man. Somebody gonna leave it in there. James Tillis. Thank you, Curtis Anderson. James Tillis. But yeah, things like, oh, what's up, Kurt? But yeah, those types of things was bothering Mike. So I get what you're saying, but I think Mike just finds a way to catch up to Larry, man. And it might be late. It might be a late stoppage. Although that's kind of backwards of what Mike, because Larry will get a little bit tired in his fights, especially if he has to use a lot of energy up, and he will stand and fight and trade with you, man, and try to hold. And that plays right into Mike's hand. I think Mike gets a dramatic mid to late round stoppage against Larry. I'm gonna say mid. I think Mike will force a high paced fight because of the way he fights, and Larry will fight you. And I think that would tire him out, get him exhausted a little bit more quicker. And I think Mike catches him. I think Mike beats Larry. Old, young, I think he beats him. I think Larry's the historically has better achievements than Mike, or more achievements. I think he was the all around better fighter than Mike. But head to head, I'm taking Mike. Oh, I'm sorry, Larry. Larry. No, Mike. Mike. I'm taking Mike head to head. But I think Larry had the better career. Makes my damn self up. The Wonderful Life of Bob J. Big George versus Mike. Man, I got Big George decapitating Mike Tyson. Decapitation season. I disagree, Hap. I got decapitation season. You trying to get Mike hurt? Y'all trying to get Mike hurt, man? Big George trying to come in on Big George with that bob and weaving and being low like that to run right into a damn uppercut. And then once he stands Mike up with the uppercut, he's gonna come with a big overhand haymaker. Well, y'all gonna get Mike, and then that jab, and Mike had a problem dealing with jabs, and you gonna try to deal with that big thudding jab. And we know Mike will get frustrated and stand straight up with his guards up sometimes. Y'all trying to get him hurt. Trying to get Mike hurt. But Mr. Boxing, he has quick feet. He'll angle off and then get punched. And then George will have his respect. But Mr. Boxing, even George Foreman said a few weeks ago in that interview that he wanted nothing to do with Mike Tyson. Man, Big George is bubbly as hell. He's been bubbly and happy-go-lucky since he came back from retirement. Come on, y'all. Y'all know that man still got that, I forgot where he's from, the Fifth Ward of Houston. He still got that Fifth Ward in him. Don't, when he get in that ring, he still got Fifth Ward in him, man. I think that's where he's from in Houston. He still got some Fifth Ward in his blood, man. Don't let none of that shit fool you. You know what I mean? So yes, I've heard him say some of everything. You ask Big George, every damn heavyweight's better than him. That's how George is nowadays, man. You know what I mean? Don't let that fool you. Please don't let that fool you. I remember Teddy Atlas that's why Teddy Atlas was so pissed when George came back, when he had the hamburgers on a big tray. Y'all remember the presser with Michael Moore? And Teddy was so pissed off, and he didn't even push George because he knows that is still in George. But George just smiling, being the world's best salesman, just smiling. Hey, I ain't like that, man. I'm just a fat guy fighting for the old people. But inside, nah, y'all gonna let Big George fool y'all, man. Yeah, God of War. He's big smile George now. Scrapbook boxing up in this thing. What's good, Scrapbook? Haplotype, Scrapbook got Curtis Anderson, Blood got some historians up in here, man. D Style says if Mike don't get Holmes out in 4 rounds, it's over. Larry wins. I think he still catches them. D Style. I don't know though, man. I think he still catches them. Stormy B Man says Tyson doesn't have the mental capacity to deal with the young Holmes who won the title from Norton with a pulled muscle in his right arm. No way Tyson competes with young Larry. So y'all disagreeing with me, but that's good though. I like that. I'm gonna go with Mike. I see Mike winning that, man. I see Mike winning that one. I agree with that. Rashid says Larry Holmes had great recuperative powers. Yes, yes, he did, or he did. Weaver, the Shaver. I mean, a lot of guys that buzzed him and knocked him down. Snipes, all them dudes. I know I missed a lot of comments. God damn, I'm the worst at this shit, man. Cali Enigma says Luis Ortiz going to the WBA route to chase Dillian White and AJ. Hopefully gets the White fight. I like to see that one. Okay, D'Lo 44 Boxing says Cali in Hawaii has the largest Samoan population in the U.S. mainland. Yeah, well, they need to get Joseph Parker's ass out to Cali then. Quit having a. Well, is that where no, they're gonna fight in Texas, right? He gonna be on the undercard next month in Texas, I think, right? Ain't that where Garcia and them fighting at? Get that dude in the right regions, man. If you're gonna bring him out here, get his ass in the right regions. Damn. Let me see here. The Blood says Curtis, when Holmes came out on his toes, I think it was the 4th round. And he was landing that sneaky uppercut on Mike. That would have been all night with Prime Holmes. Yeah, I agree. And like I said, bro, he was, and they even brought it up like, oh, it's the, this is like the Eastern Assassin out there. But if Shavers was able to catch up to him though, y'all, and even like a guy like Norton, and I understand Stormy B man was saying, a lot of these that Mike doesn't have the mental capacity that some of those guys had, man, because some of those guys get knocked down. I mean, you damn near had to shoot Ken Norton. When Ken Norton did get knocked out against big punchers, he was literally getting destroyed. They had to like decapitate that dude damn near to get him up out of there. Um, But even especially early with Mike, he tried to get up against Buster though. Now, y'all, it wasn't like he was just. I mean that was even though it looked dramatic and it looked like I could still see it in my head him searching around for his mouthpiece. But that to me let me know somebody that was heart right there, man. That dude was trying to get up. You know what I mean? So I don't think that Mike would I think Mike was really hungry back in them days, bro, is what I'm trying to say. I think he was hungry. Even Tillis made him dig a little bit. He would get frustrated in fights with Tucker and Bone Crusher Smith. He did show some signs of frustration, you know what I mean? But I think Tyson beats him head to head though. Prime for prime, because he already beat the dude, but prime for prime. Curtis Anderson says Mike Tyson was mentally weak fighter. He bit Holyfield's ear. I can't forget that. Yeah, he certainly did, but I can't really. Only thing I can try to rebuttal that with is, hey man, but it was the you know, Mike when he wasn't in his prime, but even that's kind of a weak argument, man, because they say he wasn't in his prime, but when he won titles and shit, oh, he won titles again, when he beat the Atlantic City Express, when he beat Bruce Seldon, and then when he beat my man Bruno, you know what I mean? When he was winning titles and shit, everything was good. Then as soon as Evander put him in a position where he doesn't like to be in, he bites his ear. He's the washed up version now. And to me, he wasn't washed up. He was quick. He was in shape. He was ripped. He was ready to go. He probably would have beat a lot of people's ass that night. Just wasn't gonna beat Evander. So Curtis Anderson says Buster Douglas beating Tyson was no fluke. The way Douglas beat Tyson, Ali and Holmes would have done it that same way. Yeah, in that fight, Buster had a lot of remnants of a Ali and Holmes look about his style that night. Using the jab, circling, tying up on the inside, walking Mike back, landing uppercuts when Mike come in low like that, landing quick, sharp, clean, precise 1-2s. Yeah. Um, the Cali Enigma, my man, he says the highest population of Samoans on the mainland is in Carson and San Francisco. Oh, okay. I think my man 404. Okay, well, wherever it is, that's where they need to put motherfucking Joseph Parker. So if he needs to be in the Bay Area, then get you a Bay Area fight, man. Shit, like quit putting this dude in random ass venues in the Northeast and all these random places, man. Texas isn't random, but I know he fought in Rhode Island. It's like Rhode Island, what the? And I understand the zone had a card there, Mister Boxing. Yeah, but come on, man, put him somewhere where he's gonna get viewed, man. But I think Andrade had a fight. And I think he's from Rhode Island. That's why he was on that card or whatever. But it is what it is. Um, let me see. Haplo type. My man says if Mike had just left his mouthpiece alone, he would have made the count. He would have, and Buster Douglas probably would have knocked him unconscious. So I think had he got hit with a series of a few more punches, it would have been like a he's knocked out cold type of thing. But just him getting up searching for it, that just will live on. You know what I mean? That's never gonna go away. Stormy Beeman says, Mr. Boxing, this is a great discussion and group. If supporters in here today, salute to all the brothers in here today. Salute to you, Stormy B, man. Appreciate you showing up, man. Um, D-Lo 44 Box says Selden, worst dive ever. Got Tupac killed. Man, look, he didn't want no more. Bruce didn't want no more, man. And I've seen Selden in some good fights, yo. You know what I mean? He just that was bad, man. That was that was bad, man. He got up like shaking, like he just had cobwebs. Like then, like the fake. He did that shit in another fight too, where he did some random weird looking. Was it when he fought Riddick Bowe Curtis? Somebody bloods. I know one of y'all remember. Didn't he do that against Riddick Bowe where he did like some similar type shit where he was hurt, but it just looked like he was acting. I don't know. I don't know, man. And yo, the Atlantic City Express, Selden had a damn good jab. Y'all remember how good his jab was? He had a damn good jab. A damn good jab, man. People always talk about guys that were in shape with the muscle bound physiques and all that. He was another one that people never really bring up. Okay, was the Bo fight? My man Blood said, all right, yeah. I remember the but yeah. So he always do some just suspect type of shit, weird behavior, man. Damn good fighter. All right, y'all been on here for a close to an hour and a half, man. I appreciate all y'all showing up, all the family showing up. You know what I mean? Um, Callie and Blood and Curtis and Scrapbook, D Style, D-Lo, Stormy B, man. Callie, you know what I mean? All y'all, man. Um, my man William Redman up in here. Brooklyn Child Boxing came up in here. I know I'm forgetting a lot of other people, man. I'm just trying to scroll to see what I see first. But I appreciate all y'all showing up. I'm gonna go live again tomorrow. Appreciate all the super chats, all the comments. Until then, y'all be easy. I'm gone.